Child, listen closely. I have been sent to tell you something that heaven never stops saying. I do not come with thunder. I do not come with loudness or force. I come with a whisper that carries the weight of eternal truth. That whisper is this: His love breaks every chain. I know you've heard it before. I know it echoes in your thoughts like a forgotten song. But now you must understand it not just with your ears but with your heart. You feel the weight, don't you? Even when you smile, even when no one else sees. There are chains around your heart, chains of pain, of guilt, of memories you try to forget. You've carried them so long that you started to believe they were part of you. But they are not you, and they are not forever. You ask, why do I still feel bound if He loves me? And I tell you gently, it is not because His love is absent. It is because your heart has not yet fully believed what His love can do. That is why I am here, to speak the truth until your soul begins to listen again. Let me show you what I see. I see a hallway, long and dimly lit. People are walking in it, dragging chains behind them. Some try to hide theirs, some decorate them to look acceptable. Others walk slowly, tired from the weight. And then, I see you. You think your chains are heavier than most. You think they are rusted in place. You think you deserve them. But I say to you, look again. Look at the one who walks into that hallway. He does not demand. He does not demand. He comes with eyes full of knowing. He walks directly to you, not around you. He kneels and places his hand where the chain binds your soul. His touch is not of this world. It is a touch made of mercy, soaked in compassion, filled with power that does not scream but heals. The moment he touches the chain, it begins to tremble. You ask, how can love do that? Because His love is not weak. It is not sentimental. It is the fire that burns without hurting. It is the river that flows and never dries. His love is the power that spoke the world into being, and still speaks today into your heart. Do you know what your chains are made of? Some are made of words spoken over you long ago, words that hurt, that limited you, that made you feel unseen. Others are made of silence, times you cried and no one noticed. Some are made of your own mistakes, the things you wish you could undo. And some chains are not from the past at all. They are fear of the future, fear that you will always stay the same. But I tell you, as heaven's messenger, none of those chains are stronger than His love, not one. You do not have to fight them alone. You do not have to be perfect to be free. Jesus does not come looking for those who have no chains. He comes for those who know they need Him. He comes for you. Let me tell you what I saw the moment you first whispered His name in the darkness. I saw heaven lean close. I saw Him turn toward you, not slowly, not hesitantly, but with urgency and kindness. He never hesitates when love is needed. You may have felt nothing at the time. You may have doubted your own prayer. But I tell you this truth. He came, not with punishment, not with judgment, but with love so deep it silences shame. He is not watching from a distance. He is near, closer than your breath. When you weep in secret, He is beside you. When your chest tightens with fear, He is the calm waiting to be invited in. When guilt screams, He is the whisper that says, I know, and I still love you. Yes, child, He knows everything. And He still chose the cross, not out of duty, but out of desire. He wanted your freedom. He wanted you freedom. He wanted you freedom. He wanted you. Do you wanted you sand? This love is not like human love. It does not leave. It does not grow tired. It does not need to be earned. It simply is. Always present. Always ready. You think freedom comes when you try harder, but I tell you, true freedom comes when you trust deeper. You do not need to tear the chains apart yourself. You only need to place your heart in His hands. And when you do, the chains begin to crack, not because of your strength, but because of His. Let me tell you how chains break in heaven. They do not explode. They do not shatter with violence, they fall quietly like tears when the heart lets go. That is how his love works. It enters the deepest place and speaks truth into the lie. Where guilt once ruled, his mercy builds a new foundation. Where shame once whispered, his grace now sings. You were never created for chains. And yes, the enemy will try to tell you they are still there. He will say, see, you haven't changed, you're still the same. But I say to you, do not believe the liar. Chains that Jesus breaks cannot return. They can only haunt you if you listen to their echo. Instead, listen to his love. Child, I know you want to be free. And you are closer than you think. The first chain is already cracking. The first lie is already losing power. That thought that says, I'm too broken, it's weakening. That fear that says, I'll never be whole, it's trembling. Because his love is speaking, and when his love speaks, lies lose their strength. Now I ask you to do something brave. Close your eyes. Picture that hallway again. Picture the chains. Picture Jesus standing before you. Look into his eyes. Do you see anger there? No, you see love. You see mercy. You see truth. Now hand him your chains. Not some, all. Even the ones you thought were part of your identity. Give him the guilt, the shame, the fear, the disappointment. He knows what to do with them. He has never failed to break a single one. And as you hand them over, hear my voice again. His love breaks every chain. His love breaks every chain. Not just the easy ones. Not just the small ones. Every single one. There is no chain in your life that can survive the fire of his mercy. Let this be the beginning. Not the end of your story, but the start of your freedom. You are not what you've done. You are not what you've done. You are not what others have called you. You are not the sum of your chains. You are his. And he came to set you free. Child, I am still here. I have not left you. You may think I came only for a moment, only to bring a message and disappear like a dream. But no, I am still near, for the one who sent me is always near. His love does not come and go. His mercy does not visit and vanish. It stays. It remains. And I stay to keep reminding you until your heart begins to believe it completely. His love breaks every chain. Now I must tell you something harder, but holy. There are chains that you carry which you've never spoken of. You don't talk about them. Not to friends, not to family. Sometimes not even to yourself. They are buried deep. Pushed into corners of your memory. Covered with layers of silence. You become so used to avoiding them that you forgot they were still heavy. But Jesus hasn't forgotten. And he hasn't turned away. His love doesn't only break the obvious chains, the ones others can see. His love searches out the hidden ones, the secret pains, the quiet guilt, the private fears. His love walks into the deepest, darkest rooms of the heart, not with a spotlight of shame, but with a gentle light that says, I'm not afraid of this. There are chains that form slowly, not from one moment but from many. The words you heard over and over growing up, you're not good enough, you're too much, you're not worth the effort. They weren't shouted, but they sank in. They whispered to you when you were still too young to fight them. And over time they became part of how you saw yourself. And then there were the wounds when someone left, when someone betrayed you, when someone hurt you and never said sorry. You never talked about how much it shattered you. You covered it with strength. But inside you tied it into a chain and kept walking. I see them, not to accuse you, never to shame you. I see them.
Because he sees them and because he wants you free from all of them, even the ones no one else knows. Child, there's a chain made of comparison. It wraps itself around your thoughts. You look at others and feel smaller. You think their faith is stronger, their heart is cleaner, their life more loved. That chain says you're behind, you're not enough, you're always failing. But that is a lie. You were never meant to measure your worth by looking sideways. You were made to lift your eyes and see the love that looks directly at you, without comparison, without condition. There is a chain made of regret. It whispers, you should have known better. You should have done more. You ruined it. That chain grows heavier with time if you let it. But listen to me. His love does not hold your past against you. His love redeems what is broken. His love rewrites what you thought was already ruined. The moment you bring regret to him, he takes it, and he gives you peace instead.
There is a chain made of shame. Shame is a liar that says not just that you did something wrong, but that you are wrong. Shame tries to convince you that freedom is for others, not for you. But child, listen. Jesus never shames you, never. His love never says, look what you did. His love says, look what I did for you. He did not hang on that cross to shame you. He did it to lift shame off your soul forever. There is a chain made of isolation. It tells you you're alone. It tells you no one understands. That if they knew the real you, they would leave. And so you hide. Even in a room full of people, you stay quiet inside. But that chain is breaking right now because you are not alone. Heaven knows you, Jesus knows you, and he stays. He stays even when you're silent. He stays even when you hide. Let me tell you what I've seen. I've seen him enter the places you thought were too dark for his presence. You thought he wouldn't come here. This is too messy, too broken, but he walks right in, and when he enters, nothing stays the same. I've seen him touch hearts carrying chains for decades, and in one moment of surrender, they shattered. I've seen him weep beside those who thought they were forgotten, and in his tears, they found healing. I have seen him bend low to lift the ones who crawled in shame, and in his hands, they stood again. Child, your silence cannot stop his love. You may not have spoken of these chains, but he already knows them. And he still came for you. Do you understand? The things you think disqualify you are the very things he died to redeem. You do not need to pretend. You only need to let him in. Right now, he is standing before you again. His eyes are not angry. They are filled with understanding. You have never looked into such compassion. There is nothing hidden that scares him. There is nothing too shameful for his touch. There is no chain so secret that his love cannot break it. I want you to picture something now. See yourself holding a box. Inside it are all the secret things, the moments you hate remembering, the thoughts you never say out loud, the habits you hide, the wounds you've never shown, and I want you to hand that box to Jesus. You might be afraid to, you might think he'll be disappointed, but he won't be. He already knows what's inside, and still, he opens his hands and says, give it to me. So do it now, hand it over, and now watch what he does with it. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't step back. He takes the box in his hands and presses it to his heart. Then he speaks words that only love could speak. This doesn't define you anymore, I do. And with that, the box disappears. Gone. Not hidden, not shelved, gone, forgiven, erased, redeemed. That's how he works. Quiet but complete, gentle but full of power, child. I am here to tell you that you can be fully free. Not partly, not one chain at a time with some left to haunt you. No, every chain, even the ones you've never named, can be broken by his love. This is not a dream. This is truth. You don't need to work harder to deserve it. You only need to open your heart. He will do the rest. Let me whisper it again, and let it settle deeper this time. His love breaks every chain. Every fear, every secret, every regret, every label, every silence, every failure, every lie, broken. And what is left after the chains fall? You, the real you, the you he created, the you who is loved, the you who is whole because of him. In the next part, I will tell you about what happens after the chains fall. What it means to live free. What it means to walk forward without the weight. But for now, rest in this truth. You do not have to hide anything anymore. You are seen, you are safe, you are loved, and you are being set free. Child, do you feel it? The weight has changed, the heaviness is not what it was. The silence inside is softer now. Not empty but open, not cold but waiting for something new. I see it. Your soul is beginning to rise. That is the first sign of freedom. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It begins like a breath you didn't know you were holding finally being released. You may not even have words for it yet, but something deep inside you knows something has shifted. That is what freedom feels like. You see, freedom doesn't come with trumpets, it comes with peace. It comes in the moments when the fear that once gripped you no longer holds you the same way. It comes when guilt tries to speak, and instead of listening, you hear the voice of love louder. It comes when the memory returns but the sting is gone. It comes when you look in the mirror and no longer see someone ashamed but someone redeemed. This is not imaginary, it is real. I know what you are thinking. Is it really this simple? Just let him love me, and I'm free. And I tell you, yes. Because his love is not ordinary love. It is love that carries resurrection inside of it. When his love touches something, it does not just comfort, it changes, it transforms, it makes dead things breathe again. You are beginning to understand now. You are feeling what I've seen happen in countless others who finally believed the truth. You are not bound anymore. You are free. But now you may ask me, what do I do with this freedom? How do I walk without the chains that once shaped my life? Let me show you. First, know this: freedom is not a feeling, it is a new way of being. It's not always a rush of emotion. Sometimes freedom feels like choosing truth over fear even when the fear still whispers. Sometimes it looks like lifting your head when shame tries to pull it down. It looks like walking away from what wants to find you, and walking into what he calls you now, beloved, whole, forgiven. Freedom feels like lightness. Do you remember how heavy the chains were? How each day felt like a climb? How your steps dragged, how your thoughts spiraled? That heaviness is lifting, not because life suddenly became perfect, but because the weight no longer belongs to you. He carried it. And now your soul is rising like it was always meant to. I see it, you're walking differently. You may not notice it yet, but heaven does. There's a strength in your steps that wasn't there before. A softness in your heart that once was hidden beneath survival. This is what it means to walk free, not just without chains but with confidence. You don't have to be afraid of falling back into the chains. That's what I need you to hear now. Freedom is not fragile. It's not a glass that can break the moment you make a mistake. It's not a thread that snaps the moment doubt returns. His love is not that weak, and neither is the freedom he gives. It is strong, it is steady, it is a gift that cannot be revoked. Child, let me tell you a secret. The enemy will try to convince you that your freedom was temporary, that it didn't last, that your past still owns you, but that is a lie. A bold, empty lie. Freedom in Jesus is permanent. Chains can only return if you believe they have the power to, but now you know better. You know the sound of them breaking. You know the feel of his love removing them. You know what it feels like to breathe without bondage. Do not let go of that truth. Freedom feels like peace where there used to be panic. Freedom feels like rest where there used to be striving. Freedom feels like laughter that rises from a soul no longer afraid to be seen. And let me tell you what else it feels like. Love for others, real love. Because when the chains fall off you, your eyes open to see others more clearly. You start to notice the chains they carry, and your heart begins to ache for them, not from pity, but from recognition. You were there once. And now, you know the way out. Freedom begins to spread when it's shared. You may not feel strong, you may not feel qualified, but even the simple act of living freely becomes a light in the dark. People will notice, not because of your perfection but because of your peace. And when they ask why you're different, you will have only one answer. His love broke my chains. And that is enough. Let me tell you what I see next. I see you stepping out of that hallway. The one you used to walk through with chains dragging. I see the doors open wide, light pouring in. You take one step, then another. Slowly at first, you're still learning how to walk without weight. But then you begin to run. Not away from anything, but toward life. Freedom feels like running toward joy. It feels like lifting your arms without fear, like dancing without shame, like resting in His presence, knowing you are wanted. Freedom doesn't mean you won't face trouble again. It means you'll never face it alone. And you'll never face it bound. I need you to understand something else, dear one. Freedom is not the absence of struggle. It is the presence of grace that always wins. There will still be days of pain. Still, the days of pain. Still, moments of sorrow. Still seasons where you feel weak. But freedom means that sorrow will not chain you again. Weakness will not own you. Struggle will not define you, because He does, and He is still with you. The one who broke your chains does not walk away after setting you free. He stays. He walks beside you. He reminds you daily, you are mine, you are loved, you are never going back to that prison. Do not fear the future. Do not wonder if this is too good to last. His love lasts, His mercy does not expire, and the freedom He gives is not a temporary gift, it is a new life. You do not have to earn it. You only have to live it. Let freedom be your new rhythm. Let it fill your thoughts, guide your choices, shape your days. Speak it out loud. I am no longer chained. Say it again when fear returns. I am no longer bound. Say it until your soul sings it. His love has set me free. And I will be here to whisper it every time you forget. Freedom feels like being known and loved at the same time. Freedom feels like no longer hiding. Freedom feels like walking out into the open, no longer afraid of who you are becoming. Because now you are becoming who you were always meant to be. Free, whole, loved. And the world needs what you carry. Yes, the world needs your freedom. There are others still in chains, still believing they'll never be free. But when they see you, they will see the proof. The proof that His love truly does what I've said over and over. It breaks every chain. Child, I see the shift in your heart. I see the light that wasn't there before. You have tasted freedom now. You have walked in it. And it's beautiful, isn't it? The air is clearer, the weight is lighter, the silence is not so heavy anymore. But I must speak honestly with you now. There will be days when the old chains try to return, not because your freedom is fake, not because His love has changed, but because the enemy is a liar and he hates what's been broken. Chains that no longer have power will try to pretend they still do. The voice of fear will try to sound like truth. Shame will whisper again, hoping you'll listen like you used to. But child, listen to me closely now. Just because the chains whisper does not mean they're back. The chains are broken. The prison doors are open. But the enemy will still try to trick your mind into stepping back inside. He will try to convince you that freedom was only a moment, that it was only emotional, only temporary. But I am here to tell you, it was real. It is still real. Jesus never breaks a chain halfway. You may feel weak some days, you may even stumble, but freedom is not lost when you fall. It is not stolen when you feel tired, it is not undone when you feel doubt. Because the one who broke your chains is still holding you. You see, freedom is not a place you stand alone. It's a place where Jesus stands with you. He didn't give you a gift and then step back to see what you would do with it. No. He walks every step with you, especially on the days when the chains try to return. Let me tell you how they come. Sometimes they come through memories. Something small like a smell or a place or a date on the calendar brings back the weight of a chain that once defined you. you suddenly feel like the same broken person again. The lie says, see? Nothing really changed. But I say to you, you are not that person anymore. Other times they come through your own voice. You say things like, I'll never be enough. I'm always messing up. I'm not really free. You speak old names over yourself, names Jesus already removed. And when that happens, child, you must stop and remember, His truth is louder than your feelings. Then there are days when you're simply tired. You didn't expect the battle to last this long. You thought freedom would mean the struggle was over, and in some ways it is. The chains are broken. But now you are learning how to walk as someone who is free, how to live from that truth, and that takes time. Be patient with yourself. You're not failing. You're growing. Let me tell you something important now. The presence of old temptations does not mean you are still chained. Temptation is not a sign of bondage. It's a sign that the enemy is desperate to pull you back into what no longer owns you. But you do not belong to darkness anymore. You belong to Jesus. And His Spirit lives in you now. You are not powerless anymore. When the chains try to return, here's what you do. You speak. You say the truth out loud, even if your voice shakes. You say, I am free. I am loved. I am not going back. And when you say it, heaven stands with you. Angels surround you. Jesus strengthens you. Angels surround you. Jesus strengthens you. The chains have no choice. They cannot reattach to what is held by grace. There is power in your voice now. Not because you are perfect, but because you are loved. Not because you are strong, but because He is strong in you. Freedom does not mean you will never hear the lies again. It means you will recognize them faster, and you will know where to run. You run to Him. Every time, every moment. You don't wait to fix yourself. You don't try to clean up first. You just run, and He always receives you. He doesn't say, I thought we already dealt with this. No, He says, come, let me remind you of who you are. I see you now standing in that hallway again. But it's different than before. You're not dragging chains. You're not hiding. You're standing tall, but suddenly, a voice from the shadows says something cruel, something familiar. You flinch. You almost believe it. You feel the old weight press on your shoulders. But then you hear another voice. His voice. No, that's not who you are anymore. You feel His hand on your back, steadying you. You hear me whisper the words I've been saying since the beginning. His love breaks every chain. Even the ones that try to come back, even the ones that pretend they're still whole, even the ones made of memories, mistakes, or fear. Still broken, still powerless, still defeated. Child, there is something else I want you to know now. You are learning how to fight with truth, not with striving, not with perfection, but with truth. And the greatest truth is this: you are loved no matter what. No slip, no stumble, no whisper of the past can take away what Jesus has done in you. You are sealed in His love. And sealed things don't reopen just because you feel weak. You are not the same. Do you hear me? You are not the same. You are not who you were. You are not the broken version of yourself. You are not the wounded one still crawling. You are not the slave to fear. You are a child of the King, a bearer of light, a walking miracle of mercy. You carry a testimony now. You carry proof that chains don't get the final say, that the darkest story can still end in glory, that Jesus does not leave His own unfinished. He completes what He started, and He started something in you that hell itself cannot undo. So when the chains whisper again, and they will, do not tremble, do not turn back, do not stand firm, speak the truth, lift your head, and if you feel too weak to fight, then simply remember what He already did. Remember how it felt when the chains fell. Remember the peace that came. Remember the love that found you in the dark. Remember who you are now. And if you forget, I'll remind you again. You are free, not someday, not when you're stronger, not if you never fall again, now, today, forever, because His love didn't just break the chains once. His love keeps you free. His love guards your heart. His love speaks louder than every lie. His love walks with you even into the shadow of old prisons and says, "You don't live here anymore. This is not pretend. This is not a dream. This is your new life." Freedom is not the absence of struggle, child. It's the presence of Jesus, in the presence of Jesus, in the triune middle of it. And His presence means the chains can never win again. Child, you are still listening, and I am still here. From the first whisper of hope to the final breaking of the chains, I have been speaking the same message into your soul. His love breaks every chain. You've heard it. You've felt it. You've lived it. Now I must tell you why. Freedom was never only for you. It was always meant to reach beyond you. What Jesus has done in your life, He longs to do in the lives of many. And you, yes you, carry that freedom now not only as a gift, but as a light that others in darkness need to see. Your story is not just healing, it is a weapon of truth. There are people walking in the same hallways you once walked. Their chains may look different, but the weight is the same. They are tired, they are hiding, they are hoping someone will see them and not look away. And now, you are that someone. You who were once bound are now the one who can say with gentleness and truth, "You don't have to stay there. There is a way out. I've seen it. I've walked it. I found Him, or rather, He found me." Child, that is how heaven moves. One free soul reaching for another. This is not about preaching, not about shouting. It is about sharing. It is about sharing. It is about living with such peace that others ask, "What changed in you?" It's about walking into a room and carrying freedom in your presence. Your life itself becomes a message. There is hope. There is healing. There is Jesus. Do not think you need to have all the answers. You don't. Do not think you need to be perfect. You never will be. You only need to be real to carry the truth of what He has done. Let me remind you of something. The chains were heavy. The silence was deep. The pain was sharp, but you came through. And now that pain carries purpose. When you speak, someone will listen. When you cry, someone will feel understood. When you laugh again, someone will dare to believe joy is possible. And when you say, "Jesus broke my chains," someone will whisper inside, "Maybe He can break mine too." That is the miracle, child. Not just that you were set free, but that your freedom becomes an invitation. Heaven rejoices when one soul walks free. But heaven also watches when that soul turns around and holds out a hand to another. You have been given much, not to hoard but to share. Let me show you something. I see a road, long and winding. You are walking forward now, but behind you I see others beginning to rise. Some were watching you, silently. They saw your chains fall. They saw the way you changed. And slowly, their hope began to return. Because of your healing, they now believe healing is possible. Because of your courage, they find strength to keep going. Because of your freedom, they are learning to break free too. This is not pride, this is purpose. Jesus never sets someone free just to leave them standing still. He calls them forward. And as you walk, you carry light, not a spotlight on yourself, but a soft, steady light that points to Him. Always Him, the chain breaker, the healer, the Savior. And child, I must say this, your freedom is safe in His hands. You do not need to be afraid that helping others will drain you. His love is an endless well. You will give out, but He will pour in. You will get tired, but He will strengthen. You will face new battles, but He will win them with you. Freedom is not a solo path. It becomes a river that flows through you to others. Let it flow. Let it flow in your words, in your kindness, in your forgiveness, in your quiet strength, in your story. Your story does not need to be dramatic. It only needs to be true. Tell them what He did. Tell them where you were. Tell them how the chains broke. Tell them that his love found you in the dark. Tell them that it's real, that he's real. And when you do, I will be there again, whispering beside you. His love breaks every chain. Say it with me. Let it become your song now. Say it when someone cries in front of you. Say it when someone says they feel too far gone. Say it when someone tells you they've tried everything else. Say it when someone says, "There's no hope for me." Look them in the eyes and with peace in your soul say, "There is. I've seen him do it. And he can do it for you." You are not saved to be silent. You are not healed to hide. You are not freed to forget. You are called to carry the same message that saved your life. Not as pressure, but as joy. Not as a burden, but as a light. And child, this is what I see next. I see you standing in front of someone who is bound. They don't see the way out yet. They can't feel anything but the weight. But you do not flinch. You do not run. You stand beside them. You speak softly, not with force, but with the power of love. You say, "He broke my chains. He can break yours too." And then I see it. That familiar sound, the sound of a chain cracking, then another, and another, because freedom spreads. It spreads wherever truth is spoken, wherever love is shown, wherever Jesus is welcomed. Child, your story matters, your freedom matters, your life matters, your life matters, your lifers. You are not just someone who was once broken. You are someone who carries the evidence that Jesus is alive. And as long as you walk in his love, no chain can bind you.